Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason, of course, with the payoff pitch live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time every single day. Normally, I'm joined, obviously, by the Hockey Squirrel, but he had some personal things going on today, so he had to go ahead and miss. So it'll just be me flying solo today, powered by BetUS, a fantastic sports book. If you haven't gone ahead and checked them out yet, do go check them out. They've got cryptocurrency. They've got the best sign-up bonuses in all the sports books out there. So go ahead and grab that link down in this video description and go ahead and check them out. I've, of course, got that comment section up. Let me guys know what is some of your best bets of today, or maybe what some of your leans are, and we'll talk about them as we go on through the show. See, we've already got a comment there by Tyler. Is anybody home? I'm here, my man. Sorry I was a touch late. I was actually just scrolling around on TikTok. That is by far, I think, of all the social media apps, by far the best one, and just got lost in the app and looked up and was like, oh crap, it's 10:30. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Maybe today's show will obviously be a lot faster today, just being solo. So the guys that live on the East Coast that are normally hanging back a little bit after 12 to catch the end of the show, appreciate it, but we'll get you on out here today so you can go enjoy the lunch break there with the coworkers. So with that being said, quick hits, those are my quick hits. So let's just roll on to second base. Around the bases, I'll talk about a couple of these games. I'm going to first start off with the Nationals versus the Orioles game. I like the Orioles F5 team total today over 2.5 runs at minus 105. When have we been back on the Orioles this season, folks? It's only against left-handed pitching. Maybe if I had to think, have we backed them against right-handers? Maybe at a time period where they've been hot. But what they've been consistently doing all season long is hitting left-handers, and that's the spot I want to try and back the Orioles. And obviously today going up against Patrick Corbin, we've got a left-hander on the mound. They're sitting good right now in offensive stats versus left-handers. They're in the top 10 in every single one except for batting average, and they check in 11th place. So basically a top 10 offense, obviously versus left-handers. We've got Patrick Corbin on the mound there again for the Nationals. Mentioned him, his game log, man, it's just really atrocious. Some of the recent stretch he's on, 3.1 innings pitched, 9 runs against the Phillies, 6 innings, 4 runs against the Brewers, 6 innings, 3 runs against the Reds, 4.1 innings pitched, 7 runs against the Mets. It goes on and on, 3 runs against the Rockies, 5 against the Brewers, 5 against the Astros. What we're getting at is he's going to give up a couple runs. That's just what he is, obviously in his career. And since he's really been a national coming over from the Diamondbacks, you're going to get to him. And obviously I think if those teams get to him, certainly a top 10 offense against left-handers will certainly be able to get to him. Overall, the guy's given up 61 runs in 69 innings. His whip is 1.78. Opponents are hitting 319 off of him, and he's not striking anybody out with a 7.4 K per 9. So Orioles against left-handers, got a pretty bad left-hander on the mound here, so really what's not to like about this? So let's just hope we can get 3 runs in that first 5 innings, and I believe we'll do that in a nice spot here for the Orioles. They've been consistent to us really all season long against left-handers, so I've got no problem throwing my money behind the Orioles again against another left-hander. So lock it in, guys. Orioles F5 team total over 2.5 runs at minus 105. Welcome everybody else that's chiming in on the chat. Good afternoon, fellas. Let's keep it rolling now to my second game here in the second inning around the bases. I'm going to target the Rockies here. Rockies team total over 2.5 runs at minus 118. So like the Rockies today, they're going up against a right-hander. Their offensive stats are in the top 10 in all the stats. Every single stat, at least that I mentioned, the ones that I care about and I use for my handicapping, they sit in the top 10 in all of those, and including batting average, where they sit third. They got the third best batting average versus right-handers, doing really good. You pair that with a Marlins bullpen that is sitting in the bottom 5, 28th in opponents' batting average, 28th in ERA. Other stats, they're sitting bottom 5. So like a good offense, obviously like a good offense going up against a terrible bullpen. How about today's starter? You've got Pablo Lopez on the mound there for the Marlins. In his starts, not necessarily him, he's contributed some, but in his starts, in 6 straight starts, all of his have seen 3+ runs. That's what we need today. So love that. The last 6 have all cashed that. Lopez went against these Rockies on May 30th. Did really good, actually. 6 innings pitched, 0 runs. But the bet cashed. Yeah, he gave up 0 runs, but the bet cashed. Why did the bet cash? I just told you that bullpen's bottom 5, folks. So that's why I'm not willing to do the F5 team total. If Lopez, by chance, has success, and everybody knows how I feel about seeing the pitcher relatively soon, and this is soon. This was under a month ago. I think that does favor the hitter, but hey, in case it doesn't, let me get that full game team total so I have that bullpen to go against. I don't mind taking a full game team total. Normally I like to target that F5, but if you're going to give me a bottom 5 bullpen, okay, I'll go ahead and take that full game team total. I want to circle back here to though this Rockies game when he faced them on May 30th and think, well, can we get any production off of Lopez? Because we didn't get anything back on May 30th. Well, back in May 30th, they were hitting 263 to the 10 days prior to May 30th. Now they're hitting 288. They were on base percentage 316. Now it's 333. They were slugging 348. Now they're slugging 453. And their on-base plus slugging was 664 and 786. Again, I mentioned the Rockies are a good offense right now versus right-handers. Then they've gotten better since May 30th. So, all right, I'll go ahead and back those Rockies say on that team total over 2.5 runs at minus 118. All right, let's shut up, guys, and let's give you guys some pitching props. We'll obviously do that here in the third inning, where we call it shut up and pitch. I'm going to go ahead and target with this first one. We're going to do Eric Lauer. They're the Milwaukee Brewers. That name should sound awfully familiar. Today we're going to go to under 4.5 Ks at plus 120. They're going up against the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals versus left-handed pitching. Let's take a look at what they've been doing recently. First in batting average, first in on-base percentage, second in slugging, first in on-base percentage plus slugging, and first in K percentage. Woo-hoo! Cardinals offense comes in hot versus left-handers. So you may be thinking, why not just take the Cardinals team total? Like, why are we going to go ahead and do a pitching prop? It is a small sample size. They haven't faced a lot of left-handers in those last 10 days, which is what my research is based on. So you've got a small sample size. But also, back on May 26th, Lauer went up against these Cardinals. He only got one strikeout. So that's what I like about it. There's a lot of breathing room where he can pitch better and still stay under 4.5 Ks because he only got one. Again, love this Cardinals team, obviously versus left-handers. We cashed his last start. That's why I said it should sound familiar. Remember we did under 5.5 Ks against the Reds? We got to cash. He ended that day with 5 Ks. So like that. The Reds, if you want to compare those Reds real quick to the Cardinals, they K on 20.9% of their outs versus left-handers. Cardinals are down to 14.6. So I think it's well worth one less strikeout because the Cardinals have a lot better plate discipline than the Reds versus left-handed pitching. So I'll roll with Eric Lauer. They're the Milwaukee Brewers to stay under 4.5 Ks at plus 120. The other pitching prop I want to go ahead and give Rockies run line. Oh, sorry. We'll jump in the chat. Hunter was asking about that Rockies run line. I'm going to go ahead and get to that one in the fourth inning. I like the Rockies as an underdog today. Let's stay here with the pitching props. Going to do Pablo Lopez under 5.5 Ks at plus 118. And if you followed me on Twitter, I tweeted earlier today that we got a gift. We got a gift from the prop bet guy. Now everybody knows who the prop bet guy is if you've been gambling for any amount of time, and if you've been doing prop bets, you certainly know who the prop bet guy is. He was one of the original guys that put himself out in the public, and was starting to really do prop bets. So he tweeted the over. I say we get an under, or I say we got a gift on Twitter from him. It's not a disrespect to him whatsoever, but that guy moves lines. Like, he'll sit there and tweet something out at minus 130, and all of a sudden it becomes, minus 145 because the books want to slam the juice up because now they're getting hammered because people want to tail his picks. Well, they do the same thing to the other side of it. They take a plus 110 and they'll make it plus 120 because they want to make the under now more attractive to try and balance out their books. Well, that's why I say we've got a gift. It's not a knock on him. He's having a terrible MLB season. That guy will get it turned around, though. He's good. But in the meantime, I'll take the gift that he gives us. We get the better odds now at plus 118. It's cashing 3 of his last 4. Just missed on the hook versus the Giants. Absolutely just missed. But what do the Giants do a lot? You guys remember what we did Monday against Max Fried? It didn't work out yesterday against Strider, but the Giants do strike out a ton. So just missed on the hook versus the Giants. Otherwise, cashed in the last 3 of 4. The Giants K 22.1%. Rockies are better at 20.2%. So obviously like that right there. Rockies are actually 9th best in K percentage at 20.2. So really doing good at having good plate discipline right now and not striking out. It cashed recently versus the Rockies. Yeah, mentioned that we had that when we talked about that team total. He went 6 strong and give up 0 runs. He only had 5 Ks. So we got a cash. So you're telling me in an outing in which he went 6 strong, gave up 3 hits, he only had 5 strikeouts and no runs. You thinking he's going to do better today? I mean, of course a guy can do better, but that's pretty damn good. 6 innings pitched, no runs. I can't see him doing much better, and we got a good cash. Sign me up for it. I love this play. Absolutely love this play. Pablo Lopez under 5.5 Ks. Obviously get a quick turnaround seeing this team less than a month ago. I think the Rockies will show up today. Don't expect that. And that was even in Coors Field where you hit the ball better. I mean, he's not going to be as good as home. So sign me up for Pablo Lopez. I have under 5.5 Ks at plus 118. All right, let's go ahead now and get to a long shot. That's what we do here in the fourth inning. We call it long shots. I'm going to go ahead and give two for you. I'll start with Hunter's. He asked in the chat today. He said, Rockies on the run line at plus 300. Is it worth half a unit? I put a half a unit. I didn't, but yeah, in answering your question, I would put a half a unit on it. I've got the Rockies today as one of my top underdogs as a long shot today. Obviously talked about from a Rockies perspective. Let's talk about from the Marlins perspective why I like this. Their bullpen's obviously significantly worse than the Rockies. Told you they're bottom 5. Their offense is obviously not good right now versus right-handers. And where we get the advantage of the Rockies going up against Lopez today, because they just saw Lopez in that series, Chad Kuhl did not pitch. So the Marlins don't get the advantage today that the Rockies do of having seen today's starter. They didn't get to see Chad Kuhl about a month or so ago. He's got some decent numbers. I like him. So give me a way better offense right now versus right-handed pitching in the Colorado Rockies. Give me the way better bullpen right now. A starter that I think will be more successful today in Chad Kuhl. I think the Rockies today at plus 175 on the money line are a really nice day today. So grab the Rockies as an underdog. The other one I want to go ahead and grab and talk about today is I like the Rangers. Quite frankly, I like the Rangers today up against Zach Wheeler, and maybe a bit of a surprise. I think we saw it yesterday, and if you refresh the numbers today, that Phillies offense is declining. It's very important to always refresh your numbers every day. This baseball is so damn streaky. And right now, the Phillies offense, while it was hot on Monday, now you get to Wednesday, and they've kind of dropped off. They didn't do anything yesterday against Martin Perez, where they hit left-handers better than they do right-handers. I want to pull up the exact numbers on the right-hander just to get the exact number. They sit 27th in the league. Phillies are 27th in the league right now versus right-handers. They're only hitting 207. I think this is a nice spot for the Rangers. They've got a far better offense. They're hitting 256, which ranks 9th in Major League. So I expect them, even though Zach Wheeler's had himself a nice season, John Gray's also had him, relatively speaking, a nice season. Bullpen-wise advantage goes to the Rangers by far. We've talked about that on a few episodes, about how we've kind of backed those Rangers because we kind of like their bullpen. Give me the better offense. Give me the better bullpen. Starters, if you want to say it's a wash, or if you want to say Zach Wheeler is a better starter than John Gray, I'm not going to disagree with that statement. But I think overall, collectively, the Rangers have more, to get the win today. So I think the Rangers are another plus dog at plus 115. All right, fifth inning, keep swinging. Let me give you guys a couple player props today. I'm going to go ahead and target a couple guys like I always do that you can drop in a parlay of over 0.5 hits. I think Charlie Blackmon's a nice play today, going up against Pablo Lopez, where he's 4 for 9 and only has 1 strikeout, and you get that nice lefty versus righty matchup that I kind of look for. And then you also get J.P. Crawford there of the Seattle Mariners. He's 4 for 10 up against today's starter Blackburn, and he only also has 1 K. And once again, you get that nice righty versus lefty matchup. So if you do Blackman and Crawford and a nice little parlay, actually don't even, I guess I could spend half a second and look up the odds anyways, I'm not going to look it up. Yeah, I don't know. And that actually, in looking it up and tracking this Pablo Lopez, and now just became plus 120. So you haven't gotten that Lopez one. You just got a better bet than I got. And whatever Blackman and Crawford are, I'm sure they're both minus 200 something. So I'm sure it's like plus, 115 or something either way. So, all right, cool. Let's now move it along to the sixth inning. We like to go ahead and call it a steal. I think, obviously, in this inning, I always like to give out a NRFI. I'm going to give out a NRFI, but then I'm going to give out a steal, a rare steal that's on the board. Let's first start with that steal. Tweeted the stat out earlier, but never tweeted the play out earlier. It is Tyler Wells there of the Baltimore Orioles. Yeah, I think he's going to stay under 5.5 hits allowed. Tyler Wells of the Baltimore Orioles under 5.5 hits allowed at minus 108. Guys had 13 starts. It's cashed in 12. Cashed in 12 of the 13 starts. That's a 92.3% hit rate. That's why it's a steal. What are you doing charging me minus 108 and this bet is hit 92.3% of the time? I would dream if I could find one of those bets a day and bet it. We would have such a big bankroll if we were getting something at minus 108 with a 92% hit rate. So I don't absolutely get that. It cashed in his last start versus the Blue Jays. It's cashed 3 starts this season versus the Yankees. It's cashed this season against the Red Sox. elite, top-tier offenses, and he's gotten them to stay under 5.5 hits. The only one that he didn't get a cash in was, ironically enough, against the Tigers. That was clearly a day where he didn't have it, because the Tigers don't hit right-handers. They hit left-handers. So kind of funny that that's a team it's cashed against. But let's focus on today's opponent, the Nationals. They're only hitting .219 right now, which ranks 22nd in the major league. What the Nationals do really well, which is kind of like how it really meshes with this prop really well, is they're 8th best in drawing walks. And that's what Tyler Wells has a problem with doing, is his control can kind of get out of it. Well, great. You got a Nationals team that can't have a great batting average, but they're going to show you at the plate they're going to be disciplined. 8th best walk percentage. So they're going to be willing to stand there and not swing and draw walks against a guy who has times can lose his control. If you look at his game log, he can go through picking up some walks, at least in every start. He's going to generally draw some walks. So just love it. Love the hit rate. Love the price at -108. Can't just, I don't know how you pass this up. Even if you lose it, this is one of those bets where you can feel good if you lose, because the hit rate's good, the price is absolutely outstanding for the hit rate, and then the stats back it up too, just in terms of like Nationals' current hit versus right-handers. I don't know. I love everything about that. So bona fide steal, Tyler Wells, Baltimore Orioles. He's going to stay under 5.5 hits allowed at -108. Let me do what I always like to do in this segment, though, is give you guys a NRFI. I'm going to do, I think the best NRFI today is Tigers versus Red Sox. Tigers versus Red Sox today. You've got Screwball on the mound. He's got some good numbers in the first inning. And then he's going up against Michael Wacha. The guy's just been good, quite frankly, all season long. He's also got some really good numbers in the first inning. The Tigers, I closed that tab. I looked it up this morning. They were like 27th, I think, in runs per first inning. The Red Sox are down to 13th. I know the Red Sox have that perception as they like to come out hot. They are generally one of the better righty teams. But that being said, they only rank 13th in the major league. It's .53 runs in the first inning. If you actually add that with the Tigers, which is .32, you do not get one run. Simple math right there. So I think that's the best NRFI of the day. If you're interested in betting one, go ahead and do the Tigers and Red Sox. And that one also comes at a nice price at -115 for that Tigers versus Red Sox NRFI. All right, 7th inning. I like to go ahead and give you guys my best bet of the day. I've got question marks. I've actually already given out all the bets that I've actually really bet. From here on, they're just leans. It's between Lopez and Lauer for me in terms of the best bet. And I don't know. I guess I would say Lopez, because that is the one I used on TikTok where I'm streaking $85,000. So maybe I like that one a little bit more. I don't know. I like Lopez. I like Lauer. I like them both a lot. We're getting good plus money on both of them, getting good hit rates on both of them. So I don't know. Tough to choose between them, but I like both of the pitching props in terms of the K ones that I gave you guys today. They're going to be sweat. Well, they're unders. They're always sweaty, but that's how it goes. All right, 8th inning, double play. Let me give you guys a parlay. I struggled a little bit with this. I wasn't too keen on today's baseball slate, to be quite honest. So I don't have like a money line parlay like I've generally been kind of doing here lately. I've got a mixed bag parlay. The first mix is Blue Jays White Sox F5 over 4.5 runs. Giolito's on the mound. He got crushed by the Blue Jays under a month ago when he saw them. And then you got Stripling on the mound. Good numbers, actually, as a matter of fact. But the White Sox are still the number one team right now versus right-handers. So I think you'll get F5 over 4.5. And I'll just kind of add on to that. I'm actually a little, really disgusted with myself. You guys remember on Monday I talked about taking the over in that series. Talked about it yesterday, taking the over in that series. And here I am, I haven't taken it yet. It feels like if I jump in now, like you're jumping in too late. If you've bet the over the first 2 days, I would bet the over again. I think it's an absolute play. I'm disgusted. I haven't bet it and haven't given it out. I don't want to jump in late, but it feels like I want to jump in, though. Like I want a piece of this action that I've loved for the first 2 days, but for whatever reason, I haven't given it out. So I'm not going to jump in on the full game over because I don't want to jinx that. I will jump in, though, on the F5 over. So that F5 comes in at over 4.5 runs. I decided to parlay that today with Jose Altuve, obviously of the Astros, to at least get one hit. He's got great numbers off Carlos Carrasco today. He's 11 for 29 with only 2 Ks, so good chance he at least gets the bat to the ball. Hopefully he finds himself a hit. And that's your parlay today. That's your double play. Blue Jays, White Sox, F5 over 4.5 runs. Parlay that with Jose Altuve of the Astros to at least get one hit, and that comes in at plus 162. plus 162 for that one. All right, ninth inning. Let me give you guys my bets, and then let's talk about all of these. Another couple that I'm interested to talk about with you guys. So let me scroll up. Those are my bets. Orioles F5 team total over 2.5 runs at minus 108. Take that Rockies team total over 2.5 runs at minus 118. We'll take Eric Lauer there, the Milwaukee Brewers, stay under 4.5 Ks at plus 120. Pablo Lopez there, under 5.5 Ks at plus 118. And what's the other one? Wells. There, the Orioles under 5.5 hits allowed at minus 108. I don't know. Minus 108. The sportsbooks would go broke if they offered something at minus 108 with a 92% hit rate. We deserve a cash for finding that gem. Doesn't mean you're going to get the cash, obviously. We all know how sports go, but we deserve a cash for finding that price for that hit rate. No, we deserve it. All right, let me jump on BetUS. Let's talk about all these games from a run line, money line, and over/under perspective. Live lines, whatever they're at right now. Let's talk about them. All right, Blue Jays, White Sox, over/under of 9. Blue Jays minus 120. White Sox even money. I'm just going to repeat. Like the amount of people I saw on the Blue Jays on Monday. The amount of people I saw on the Blue Jays yesterday on this is a bounce back spot. Stop trying to pick a winner between two bullpens that are trash, two offenses that are relatively even matched. Stop it. Just take the over. If you've been taking the over the first two games, awesome. I'm extremely jealous. Just keep taking the over in that series, and who cares who wins? Stop doing that. Mets and Astros are another afternoon game with an over-under of 8. Carlos Carrasco versus Luis Garcia. Mets are dogs at plus 120. Astros are at minus 140. Carrasco, we know, has got terrible away splits. I'll just take the over. Another game where I don't want to try and decide who's going to win the game, but I see runs up against these starters, and the Mets bullpen, as we've kind of talked about this week, they're just no longer running at that elite level. They've certainly regressed over the last 10, 14 days. So I think an over 8 is well in play in that game. Phillies and Rangers up next. Phillies minus 135, Rangers plus 115. Mentioned I like the Rangers money line, so I'll try and say something a little bit different. Over-unders at 7.5. There's a chance with this Phillies offense struggling, and if Wheeler pitches good like he does, you could see an under. So I'll go ahead and do under 7.5. Under 7.5. I just saw the comment from Tyler about the squirrels out chasing a nut. Yeah, it's what he must be doing, something like that. I don't know. Pretty funny comment right there. All right, Diamondbacks, Padres are up next. We've got the Diamondbacks plus 140, Padres minus 165 with an over-under of 7.5. The thing I'll say about this is Diamondbacks are the worst team right now in hitting right-handed pitching. I'll pull up the exact number. From a batting average, they're hitting 172, dead last in the major leagues. You're getting Mike Clevenger. I think that's a tough task going up against Clevenger. So I obviously like the Padres on the money line. I would probably just do Padres on the run line, though. Instead of paying 165, I would probably just do Padres run line at plus 125 as what I would That's probably what I would do. I'm looking here on BetUS. Hunter said the Rockies run line is plus 300 right now. I'm showing on BetUS it's... Oh, he did minus 1.5. They've got the Rockies getting plus 1.5. Wow, that's weird. I guess they are dogs. Anyways, all right, let's keep scrolling and rolling here. Dodgers Reds today, over under of 9.5 there. Dodgers minus 150, Reds plus 130. Tyler Anderson versus Luis Castillo. I was interested in this game. This was the game when I started doing my handicap. I was like, oh, I'm going to be on the Reds. Shit, that's all they do is hit left-handers this season. We've backed them a ton. They're not hitting left-handers right now. So that puts me on the Dodgers. And at minus 150, I'll just take the Dodgers at minus 150. Got no problem with that. Rockies Marlins up next. Rockies plus 160, Marlins minus 190, over-under of 7.5. I'm just sticking with the Rockies play. That's how strong I feel about the Rockies today. So I'm not going to offer up an over-under of opinion. I think that's might be spot on at 7.5. I think the Rockies could win this game 5-2. I think you could see a nice 5-2 win by the Rockies. So I'll stick with that, and I'll take the Rockies on that money line today. Nationals Orioles up next with an over-under of 9. Nationals plus 135. Orioles are at minus 155 on the money line. I would take the Orioles. I mean, based on the bets I've got, I'm not a money line player, as everybody knows, but I would take the Orioles based on my bets, obviously. So We'll stick to that at minus 155. Cubs and Pirates are up next. Cubs come in at minus 125. Pirates come in at plus 105 there on the money lines. We come in with an over-under of 9. Did that over hit yesterday? I don't know. Boy, if it didn't, it got awfully close. That's definitely been a high run series. This is not the sweep game. They do play tomorrow, so I know people like I'll take the Cubs today because they're avoiding the sweep. That's not today. Wait till tomorrow to see if that scenario is in play, if you like that narrative, because this is a 4-game series. So I'm just going to continue taking the Pirates. I've given the Pirates out as a lean the first 2 days. I think they got that win yesterday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I'll take the Pirates as an underdog. They're a better team right now. All right, Tigers, Red Sox are up next. Screwball versus Waka, over-under of 8. Tigers are at plus 110. Red Sox are at minus 130. This one's going to be low scoring. The Red Sox are scuffling a little bit versus left-handers. Tigers are scuffling versus right-handers. Under 8. Under 8 right there between Tigers. This feels like the game where the Tigers like screwball on the mound. They do whatever they can. They patch it together with the bullpen. All right, under 8 for me. I'll take that under 8. Yankees and Rays continue their series with an over-under of 7. Yankees minus 140. Rays plus 120. Montgomery versus Baz. No, it's tough. It's always tough picking this Yankees-Rays series. These games are always just tough. I think yesterday's score did kind of get away from the Yankees, but generally speaking, tough. I'll go under 7. Montgomery, I looked him up today. I thought maybe I was going to back him. He's got some good numbers against these Rays hitters, so I'll do under 7 in that one. Giants and Braves are up next. Got an over-under of 8.5. You got Rodon versus Charlie Morton. You got the Giants at plus 125. You got the Braves at minus 145. To me, it's an easy play of taking the Giants today as an underdog. We've kind of talked about Morton last week when he went up against the Cubs. He had a good outing, but I don't expect him to have another good outing. I'll take the Giants with Rodon on the mound at plus 125. Guardians and Twins are up next. You get an over-under of 8.5. Guardians at plus 135. Twins are at minus 155. Like the Guardians today at plus 135 on that money line. Cardinals and Brewers up next. You've got an over-under of 9. Cardinals at minus 105. Brewers at minus 115. Wainwright versus Lauer. I'll take those Cardinals. Hard to ignore what they're doing versus left-handers. Wish we had a little bit bigger of a sample size, and I would have felt a little bit comfortable backing like the full-on Cardinals offense versus left-handers. That's why I obviously didn't do it. But in terms of a lean, I'll go ahead and do the Cardinals there. Mariners and Athletics. This one screams low scoring with Blackburn and Kirby on the mound. Over-under of 7. Mariners minus 135. Athletics plus 115. I like the Athletics. We talked about how when Montas and Blackburn on the mound, they try like heck to win those games. You saw what they did last time out when he was against the Red Sox. Blackburn against the Red Sox. They tried like heck to win that game. I think they did win that game, if I recall correctly. I think it was 4-2 finish. So I'll take the Athletics as a dog with one of their 2 better pitchers on the mound. Royals and Angels. Been wanting to talk about this game. Royals versus Angels. You get an over-under of 8. Royals plus 195. Angels minus 230. People are probably sitting there thinking, what happened? Why are we not backing the Royals today? We backed them on Monday. They had a left-hander on the mound. They got another left-hander on the mound today in Daniel Lynch. There were 2 reasons why I was willing to back those Royals on Monday. 1, the Angels couldn't hit left-handers. That is still a true statement today. The other element of why we were willing to back the Royals was Bubic was on a nice roll. Remember, we talked about his June stats. He was doing decent. I thought he could continue that good roll combined with an offense that is struggling. You don't get that today in Daniel Lynch. So I'm not willing to risk a bad offense up against a bad pitcher. I don't know which one's going to win out. So to me, it didn't quite match up like it did on Monday. In terms of rapid fire, giving out leans, hard to go up against when the Angels have Ohtani on the mound, though. Ohtani at home is really strong. I would take under 8. I think Ohtani's going to do good, and let's just say Lynch is going to do good against an Angels offense that can't hit left-hander. So I'll give that a lean of under 8, and that's the last game. Wish Lynch was doing better. I would have loved to have faded that Angels offense again against left-handers. That's not good. Not good what they're doing against left-handers. All right, guys, we've got 5 bets today. Let's just keep doing good. Man, we've been doing really, really good. Let me scroll through these comments, see if anybody asked a question. Got some, obviously, just some good positive comments. Obviously, love to see that. Nice call on the NRFI Hunter. Oh, yesterday, that must have been. Oh, my NRFI hit yesterday. How about that Diamondbacks Padres NRFI? Yeah, that one hit yesterday. And then we've got Hunter, Pitt one. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, guys, that'll be today's show then. Cool. That'll be it. I'm sure the Hockey Squirrel will be back with me tomorrow. He only mentioned having to miss out on today's show. Cool. Let's cash these 5 bets. Let's continue having a nice, good day. Thank you guys again for the comments. If you just sat there and watched, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your Wednesday. Come on back for tomorrow. We'll do it all over again today. Come ready to get the bets in quick tomorrow. Lots of day games. So come ready. All right, guys. Have a good one.